All humans want to live happily, though unfortunately, this pursuit of what our soul so direly yearns for becomes one of our greatest weaknesses, the root of our fall. For as soon as we come to terms with the reality of life in a world owned by darkness, by prejudice, intolerance, hypocrisy, selfishness, duplicity, superficiality, thus the war for triumph, we so easily and quite sadly settle for perceptibly happy, the happiness that deflects and denies all the negative cold truths of reality whilst highlighting the far fewer perceptibly positive experiences as a means of living within the illusion of a happy life. One not rooted in reality, where we're not engulfed by and thus perpetually influenced, propagated by egotistical, superficial, duplicitous, and self-centered bullies and narcissists disguised as cool and popular, saints, gurus, and light workers. You see, we live behind this elusive veil by highlighting the perceptibly good nights, or at least the less negative, the better than usual nights, with our given group of friends, coworkers, or family members in order to sugarcoat and thus to justify all the bad and negative nights that we so easily let slip from our memory's conscious view. Thus placing this veil of naivety over our eyes, making the false claims to ourselves that these hierarchies and thus the people within them aren't as negative, as pretentious, duplicitous, meretricious, and self-centered as they too often in fact are. Ergo, we ignore all the times the given social leaders, the coolest and most popular people that elusively control a given hierarchy from whispers and shadows in lust for nothing less than triumph, thus social dominance and power, duplicitously nitpick, nag, and jab at us as a means of preying on our insecurities, coincided all the times they speak condescendingly and aggressively towards us, a tactic used to clandestinely degrade our social worth to the given pack, whilst oftentimes all too easily playing this off as playful banter and jokes. This game of perception rooted in deception, the worst among us play, that is truly a disgrace to mankind and our great potential, wasting this potential away, creating a lie in order to dominate and triumph rather than using it as the incredible tool it can be to harbor otherworldly wonders. Just because we are closing our eyes doesn't mean that all I've just mentioned isn't happening. Doesn't mean that by us closing our eyes, we aren't letting these people, the worst among us disguised as our caring friends and family members, continue to do what they do by placing this blind eye, by condoning, facilitating, and even contributing to their utterly negative behaviors, rather than doing as we should and saying to ourselves, I'd rather be alone than allow this sort of ignorance to influence my life. Because us pretending these ignorantly prejudicial, egotistical, and pretentious people are as cool and as wise as they themselves are pretending to be is the root of our fall. Simply because in this game of triumph we live, we want to be accepted by these cool and popular people so we can be cool and popular too. But you see, because we've been bred to fear loneliness, because of a lack of confidence and grounding of where true happiness derives from, which is certainly not from disingenuous people nor material things, rather from within. This prevents us from taking that daunting step away from what we've been brainwashed to believe we need in order to be happy, all as a means of controlling us by controlling our emotional state and our sense of safety and security. Until we escape this willful naivety, until we open our eyes to the truth of the utter negativity of the social environments we willingly subject ourselves to, and thus the people we willingly choose to surround ourselves with, we will continue to fall as a race.